Beloved, welcome to a deeper dive.
But let me
but,
just
but, belief under transition. That's what but represents. So whenever we say but, there's something that we believe that is undergoing a shift or a change. And it would happen and it would lead to healing if we don't make an excuse for keeping the thing the way it is.
so what about, okay, that's part of it, right? That seems to be going on. But then there's a part of the attacks. The attacks on each other. Why those attacks? Why put the person down or try to shame them or defame their character or to dismantle the image that they have created in the public or what the way the public sees them?
I mean, the
Why?
mask that they're wearing. Let's say this. At all times, in all situations, in all circumstances, there's nobody in the room but you and God. Nobody. Because every single one of us is a living demonstration of the divine source from whence we came. So whatever you do and however you're doing it, you're either doing it to yourself or you're doing it to God. So how you do what you do determines A, what you think about yourself, how you treat yourself, what you think about God, and how you treat God.
That's deep.
Is that ocean deep or is that a wading pool deep?
Yeah, nah, that's oceans deep. Yeah,
Well, let's look at it. Let's look at it. Because we will say, I'm made in the image and the likeness of God. Not me, all of us. We'll say that. And some part of us knows that. The truth of the matter is, every soul knows it. And if you're walking, living, breathing, pooping, you got a soul. So your soul knows that. You are made in the image and the likeness of something greater, grander, more divine than just your mother and your father. But the conditions of our life and the experiences that we have in this body lead us to forget that. Lead us to forget that. So we treat each other as separate individuals. You over there, me over here. What I do to you don't matter what you do to me. And so we really think that it's okay. So whether it's these individuals you're speaking about now, or whether it's somebody in Tuscaloosa that we don't know, or whether it's a government official, we're seeing what they think about themselves. We're seeing what they think about God. And there are people, two-legged people, who fart and poop, who really think that they've got more juice than God. And they'll get into this ego-driven, separatist, better than superiority behavior and say, well, God made me this way. Oh no, beloved. Oh no. That's a choice. We get to choose. So the attacks, what seemed like an attack outward, that we're voicing, it. And we're projecting it outward because we don't know how to navigate it internally.
I need you to give me a little clarity on something.
Okay.
You said that things happen and then we say, oh, that caused me to be this way, or this is the way that I am. You said, no, beloved, that's a choice.
Yeah.
Help me understand, why would someone choose to be mean? Why would someone choose to betray someone? Why would someone choose to talk down or to put down or to tear down someone else? Why would one choose that? Is that something that we choose to do?
Yeah.
Or is that a programming that we're under?
No, it's a choice. It's an absolute choice. Now, the programming and the conditioning allow us to believe it's okay. Allow us to believe that we're justified. Allow us to believe that we're right. But the same way you can choose to open your mouth and speak harmfully about someone, you can choose to keep your mouth shut. But then that means you'd have to navigate your feelings. And most of us are neck down dead. So when a feeling comes up that we don't understand, when we're having an internal emotional experience for which we have no logical explanation, we're going to project it outward. And we're going to make you responsible for what's going on in here. So yeah, it is a choice. Let's talk about choices.
That's what I was about to say to you.
Okay.
You say choose, and I said, why would someone choose? What does a choice mean? Because I don't know if people understand how powerful a word that is, and how it's active in our everyday life and what we're doing, and the result of the choices that make. So help me understand, the viewers, what is a choice? Mm-hmm. Like, I hear a lot of people say, well, you made me do it. Or this made me do it. So I don't think many of us are even aware that we're choosing what we experience.
Yeah. We need to be reminded of what we forgot. And one of the things that we forgot is free will. And choice is an exercise of free will. And choice is your power. Choice is absolutely your power. Now, there are all kinds of choices. There's a wide variety. There's a buffet of choices. You've got a conscious choice. That means that you are in touch enough with yourself to discern among the potential possibilities and choose the one that's most aligned with who you are and what you desire. That's a conscious choice. Then there's an unconscious choice, which means that you're acting or reacting to conditioned conditioned solving techniques, and you're going to do what shows up the quickest way because that's what you've always done. That's an unconscious choice. Then there's the choice of least resistance. That means that the ego is involved, and you're looking at this plethora, this array of possibilities, and you're going to take the one that's going to give you the greatest amount of pleasure and the least amount of pain. That's the choice of least resistance. Then there's a fear-based choice, where something shows up in your life and triggers up a fear in your body, and to avoid confronting that fear, you will do what you think will lessen the fear. So you make a fear-based choice. Then there's the the deal-making choice, when you're kind of bargaining with yourself or someone else, and so you're going to make that deal that you think will lift you the highest or give you the greatest outcome, the greatest benefit, even if it's not beneficial to the other party. So there's a lot of choices. There's an array, a plethora of choices that we make. And we make them moment by moment based on where we are in consciousness. And if we don't take that moment, that pause, get in touch with what's going on, then we'll make a deal-based choice, a fear-based choice, an unconscious choice, or we won't choose at all, which is also a choice.
Wow. You know, what you just said was a lot, but how is the average person supposed to get that information and navigate through all these different levels of choices when we were never taught? What you're saying right now is, you might as well be speaking Martian. You might as well be speaking Martian. You think that the average person I'm here to tell you that what you said, they cannot, it blew fuses in their brain.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. I see us higher. I see us higher. Yes, we've been programmed. How did I learn it? I was an average person born in Brooklyn to an alcoholic mother and a wandering father. How did I learn it? I wanted to know. That's how I learned it. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. When the student's ready, really ready, the teacher will disappear. When you're really ready, you get the information you need and you integrate it. You gotta want it. You know, I'm a music fan. You know that. I love music, and I love artists, and I love them all. You know, I love country. I love big band. I love R&B. I love rap. I love jazz. But I also love my soul. And so, in many instances, rather than buy a concert ticket, I bought a class and I did my work. today we are so addicted to being stimulated and being entertained until we don't take the time. We know we're in pain. We know we've got trauma. We know we're unforgiving. We know we want to be forgiven. And yet we'll focus our attention on the things that take us away from the real need. So the deeper dive here is, how are you making your choices? And that question alone, taking that question to journal and paper, how are you making, what motivates your choices? I know a lot of women make choices what they think what's best for their kids. I did that. I did that. I did what I thought was best for my children, including staying in an abusive marriage because I wanted my kids to have a father, even though he wasn't their father, but he was a father figure in the house. I never stopped to sit down and ask myself, what do I want and what am I choosing? So I think the deeper dive would be, you know, what can we do every single day that supports us and being clear and making conscious choices. And when we recognize that we've made an unconscious choice, a field-based choice, a deal choice, or that we haven't made a choice at all, how do we rectify that? How do we adjust that? You know, you choose. Why did you choose what you put on today? Because it was available? Why did you choose that thing on the menu? Because that's what you desired? Well, when we want to do better, feel better, live better, we want to harness our power. We'll start getting clear about how we make choices and why we make the choices that we